Hello and welcome. Today I'm gonna go over my most successful deck this far. I think there's a lot of lookalikes out there with a Russian Guard and VDV, but this is my take on it. I'm first gonna go over the Recon tab and end up with the Air tab. Afterwards, gonna talk a little bit more in depth how to strategize with the infantry, combined arms, and air. So first we have the VDV Spetsnaz that's coming with a expensive Typhoon with a 2A42 autocannon. The VDV Spetsnaz is usually purely anti-infantry unit for me that I pair up with either the VDV Dish or Motorslelki. Just to have some infantry fighting capability as well to the AT launchers. After that we have the VDV Sniper and yeah, proper good recon squad. A bit expensive but can fight other infantry squad as well because you have the cord that does a lot of damage against infantry up close. I wouldn't say the long range isn't super bad choice because you can pick off or end helicopters or other infantry units that are low. The only catch is you usually get spotted that way and need to reposition afterwards. So I like the suppressed version, and you have a chance to just stay hidden even though you shoot at the enemy. Next up we have 4 VDV Asvedka with the awesome RPG 73D launcher with 650 penetration. Actually really useful against enemy infantry fighting vehicles and tanks as well if you pair them up, especially with the Mostosleki. That's hella deadly. Or you can just do 2 or 3 VDV Rasvedka and cover a forest that's have a highway close. Next up, a unit that I think I'm the only one that likes, that don't see it that much in game. It's T90M, the Recon version. I both have the upgraded optics and the cord. I think the cord is mandatory for helicopters up close, but the optics you can choose yourself. Compared to the normal T90, it has a stealth rating 1.25 instead of only 1, and you get the extra range as well. You lose a little bit of health, and of course you don't have the APS. Like the normal T90 have in the vehicle section. I like it though for early games, picking up enemy tanks from afar. It's good to pair up with a T80UM, so we get that extra range. Afterwards we have the BRM, real good just infantry fighting vehicle, also a side scout on the flanks to kill helicopters and clean out enemy recon and just scouts. I usually rocked it with the 57 millimeter gun and the Attacca before. This is a purely infantry fighting vehicle. But I actually changed my mind lately and use it so I get the lace as well with the autocannon. It's quite effective that way if you can put it really far back on a hill and lace the enemy instead, and use it as flank possession at the same time. If I want a cheap answer for the flank protection, it's 4 posts. I only use it to find enemy recon units, rarely use it to actually lace something. I think that's how most of the people use it as well. For the infantry tab, we start off with the real grunts here, the VDV Dish. They come in with the BTR MDM. Skretchet. Really underrated vehicle. Don't see a lot of it, but I think you need a lot. I have 4 on them in this deck with all of the upgrades except the Igla, because I usually use them like a close range delivery vehicle. The Su-23 is purely for fighting infantry. It could take on helicopters, but I find enemies lately they are smarter than that, and when they see the check, then they stay at range. So not really useful that way, but it's really good as an infantry support vehicle. Fits 15 people as well, so it's really good paired up with the VDV units, the Spetsnaz, Rasvetka, of course the VDV Cornet. So yeah, if you try this deck yourself, just try some combinations out. I would recommend go all out anti-infantry with VDV Spetsnaz and Sturmoviki. Or just have a combination, so a bit more balance with one Verba and Sturmoviki, for example. Next unit is the VDV AHG. I would say this is kind of underwhelming. It's a little squad with 2 grenade launchers, 800-meter range. I just added them in because sometimes you need a bit more of a defensive unit, and it works kind of okay with that. But I also bring them in to have the BMD4M. This one though is really nice with a 100mm cannon that can shoot on the move as well, with even main gun and Arkan missile as well. Next unit is the VD Cornet, probably one of the best ATGMs in the game, with the 2 Cornet M's. There we have it, the 2 Cornet M's. I was supposed to do that, and it's a high cost for them, but you probably only need one at one position because they fire 2. So first shot is gonna be eaten by smoke APS, and second one is probably gonna hit. Then we have the tanks. Desatanki, sorry for the pronunciation. 50 points of health, 8 armor, really good tank unit. Not that good at anything particularly. I use them only for the health. They have a bit of infantry support with the grenade launcher and PKP. But that's about it. Not a super unit, but good health on them. And we have the Motorsleki with the RPG 28. So this is a one-time launcher with 4 shells only, but 900 pen. So if you pair up one of these guys and 2 VDV dish, you're gonna completely one-shot everything. And if you try to have the VDV dish engage first, they're gonna deplete the APS. Same if you pair them up with a Sturmoviki, that's purely for eating APS and smoke. Works really well for that. Then we have the Verba. Classic from the start, I think. One of the best launchers. And it's kind of cheap actually, only on 75 for one launcher with 2100-meter range. Catch helicopters off guard. This one I try to keep in the middle of a unit composition, but you can also put them on the flanks, but they don't stand their ground. They're roaming against other infantry, sadly. At last, my favorite unit in the infantry tab, the Sturmoviki. They're really good at range, 600-meter range infantry, anti-infantry RPG. It can also defeat lighter vehicles like transport vehicles and such. Also the AK-12 looks badass as shit with a grenade launcher. The vehicle tab, probably the main focus on this deck. I'm having the Armata just to bait out enemy air, usually. I mean, it's a really good tank, top tier, absolutely, but usually I just use it as bait, and I have the armor package for a bit of survivability. Top attack missile to counter the Emron's M3. T90M, main battle tank, just pure anti-tank. Really good with the 4 APS, and 340 cots is a lot, but if you're careful you can find a lot of value with this one. Thirdly, we have the T80UM. That's the one with the extra chords on the top. I think the 15 points is worth it for the extra chords, just as an anti-infantry and helicopter deterrent. If you're playing this close to buildings and there's no infantry around, but a helicopter flies by, this is pretty good with extra chord as well. The other upgrades, I don't find the jamming useful longer, because it's like only javelins you're against. But try it out if you want. This upgrade with the APS is properly solid as well. I find it a bit expensive though, because I only use the tanks as support to the infantry tab. I kind of play it reversed. Next we have one BMT Terminator with the AG upgrade, not the ERA. It's such a little upgrade, the ERA. The only way I would see it is that you get the health points plus, but I like a cheaper Terminator instead. Really good anti-infantry, have some anti-tank capability too, but I find the Booker spam kills this straight away. 2 Bookers and you have no chance at all. And to the support tab, this one is the most flexible, I would say, in the deck. You can take the Book M2, bring a third one if you mix a little bit with the Kamas, for example. But I much likely prefer the Buck M3. It has the thermal guidance, which is really good right now, and I almost always play them paired up with 2. So they can one-shot enemy airplanes incoming, and also have a lot of baiting out seed missiles capability. Thor, I mean, I think it's a standard in all Guard decks to have a Thor. It's super OP, 16 missiles, you can have it all game. You probably, some games I don't even reload it once. But be a little bit careful, it's still expensive, but it's a good counter to the Viper spam I've seen lately. But be careful by the seed missile, so probably keep the radar turned off and stay pretty close to the combat. And here we have it, the Derivatia. And yeah, I mean, not much to say, really good anti-helicopter and anti-infantry vehicle. Sadly, these vehicles get killed if they're against a Guardian or something like that. They can shoot on range, even though they get the jump on the Guardian. But not much of a cost, so use them on the flanks and quite far in the woods, of course. After that is the 235 with the range upgrade. Not much to say about this either. Range upgrades guarantee you the guidance shell. That's really important. 4,500 meter range as well. Really good against everything. Underused against helicopters, I think. Second is the TOS 1 Buratino. So I don't use it with any of the upgrades, just to keep it cheap. It gets a lot more expensive with the TOS 1A upgrade, and you get more missiles with the Buratino as well. VDV Kamas, purely infantry transport. You can pick up pilots with it as well. As why I have the cheaper Typhoon VDV as well. Almost purely pilot pickup, can be useful for some infantry support though. MTSM, just big ammo supply. Shame of the speed though, only 65. Helicopter tab and the air tab is pretty close. First of all, we start off with the KA-52 Alligator. I use it with the GHS-35L pylon, the gun pods. Secondly, the Vickers and Igla. So I max this out, so it's a real shadow helicopter, this one, and the Vickers is rappelling fires, because there's 12 of them, 950 pen. The Mi-28, I ditch the lemurs and use it purely on the flanks. I have a combination of F-13 rockets for a bit more armored vehicles and SA rockets against the infantry and lightly armored vehicles. It's really cheap for the 2400 range. Then we have the Mi-8 for light cargo and infantry. Mi-26 usually just for the cargo, but can transport a lot of infantry to the front line if needed. Just be careful, don't dilute this, because it's landing really slow. Last we have the air tab, really cheap Su-35 with a fuel tank, so we can stand back and throw our 37 missiles at the enemy planes incoming. Good at the start as well, but keep it on the back, because it, it can handle itself pretty good with a 20% ECM, but I wouldn't recommend it. Su-30 Thor. This one I switch a lot, the loadout. Usually I rocket with a Fab 3000, just to have another way to clear infantry fast. I have the TOS, but Su-35 can come in a lot faster than the TOS to clear out a lot of enemy infantry. Right now though, I'm sticking with the Cab 500 for just dealing with enemy tanks and have some precision strikes against really far back enemy artillery or SAM. Su-57, same purpose as the Su-34, but I find this a bit better to hit the SAM really far back, because you have the cruise missiles and the KH-58 radiation missile instead of the 31. So it's a bit faster, I think. Max speed 2420. Yep. So it's a bit faster for that. I think it's good to have a switch, because this has the stealth rating as well, so you can come really close before you ripple out the cruise missiles. So overall, how I play the deck. Kind of heavy recon tab. Used to recon very much in all the games, I would say. Some games I prefer to use the VDV Spetsnaz more. Some games with against a lot of bookers, it's probably the VDV Rasvetka. That's more used. And I almost forgot in the infantry tab the B-15 Kurganets. It's fully upgraded with active protection as well. The Kurganets was a bit better before, I feel like. Now with the bookers spam, the bookers just rush you down, but try keeping it on range. You can also use this like expensive infantry transport to a building if you have, for example, full of VDV Spetsnaz or Sturmoviki to clean out enemy infantry. 57 is all right, I would say. Cornet M lackluster, because the armor isn't that much, but I still find that I need some strong infantry fighting support vehicle, and this is probably the best option for it. Otherwise, this is a top tier Russian deck. Highly recommend it. Tinker with it yourself. For example, I want to play a bit more with the light artillery units for smoke as well. You can add that. But it's really important to have a lot of good flank protection, because most of your units are on the more expensive part and slow part, so you can't call them in instantly as support. So place your Divisanti on the side as well, on the sides, as well as some verbas, and you should be fine. You can also use the Skretchet as flank support, but I prefer to keep this close to the infantry, so you can have it transport forward and back from the ammo supplies to get health up on your infantry units. I hope you liked the real bad English and the deck overview. Hope you try the deck as well. Tell me if you would change anything, or you prefer more of the light tanks except of the Armata, for example. I know that's a more popular choice. I always like the comments, so tell me down there. Have a nice day. Bye.